what we are seeing in the recent time is perhaps a reenactment of the Cold War, especially given the fact that Amazon and a few other private players have gone into a space race, right? How do you view this, especially given the fact that there is a debate, at least in the United States, of a post-capitalistic society already?
Right. Very interesting observation as we're talking about current affairs after all, right? I think it's a very interesting observation. And straight off the bat, I have a couple of thoughts, right? Look, you see a lot of people trying to villainize the Jeff Bezoses and the Elon Musks and the Richard Bransons of the world by virtue of them spending their money on going to space, right? I've come across this meme fairly frequently in recent weeks saying that, oh, okay, Jeff Bezos had two options to either end poverty in sub-Saharan Africa or go to outer space. And he chose the latter for 5 minutes, right? Now, while that's obviously very amusing, it betrays a lack of basic understanding of basic economics. And I'll tell you why. Look, when you Google Jeff Bezos' net worth and it says $150 billion, it doesn't mean that he has $150 billion chilling in his bank account that he can just GPay you at any point in time, right? The assumption is a combined worth of all his assets plus all his houses, all his cars and jets and yachts and real estate holdings and stocks, all of that, right? If they were sold immediately at the share price that they are commanding at that point in time, that total monetary figure will be close to $150 billion. You know what I mean? It's if he sold absolutely everything he owned and all of it didn't depreciate in value, didn't decrease in value, then he would have an estimate of $150 billion. But so people need to understand that straight off the bat that no, Jeff Bezos can't end poverty in sub-Saharan Africa by himself, all right? Because he doesn't have $150 billion chilling in the bank account. So that's something, a fundamental misconception I'd like to debunk straight off the bat, right? Now, going into, so I don't think, so personally, I don't think it's an issue that he's opting to do this. Now, on the space race itself, I think it's very important for people to understand that, believe it or not, the main motivation for us to go to space is not just, oh, wow, how cool the Earth looks from outer space or our orbits or galaxies, and none of that, right? The main reason is obviously curiosity fuels a lot of human innovation, no doubt about it. But the main motivation, since that we have been to space during the Cold War, right, as you rightly pointed out, is to see if there's anything we can import or bring back from space that will enhance our quality of lives here on Earth, right? People believe that a lot of the microbial life in extraterrestrial spaces and in outer space, for lack of a better term, actually could be used in, you know, actually could be used in renewable resources, could be used in cures to diseases that we don't have cures to already. It could be used in, if we travel enough to outer space, we understand, okay, like how does satellite positioning work? Because we send satellites to space, right? To watch TV, watch videos, to have this call and interview, right? We rely on satellite positioning. Understanding space travel can help us understand these things. And if we understand satellite positioning in its truest form, right? Think of it like you have virtual eyes on planet Earth at any given point in time. We can really, really enhance our quality of life by virtue of preventing earthquakes, by virtue of preventing any sort of natural calamities if we use satellite positioning the right way, because we'll have data on different parts of the Earth, and we can really, really, really utilize that degree of satellite technology only if we go to space, only the more if we travel more and more to space, right? So that's my thoughts on it, that people need to stop looking at it like, oh, okay, is there some ego behind it? I'm sure. Is it very expensive? Absolutely. Can the average person go to space? No, all those things are correct. But we need to understand that the motivation as a human race for going to space is much bigger than, oh, look how cool it is, I've gone to space, right? I truly believe that our quality of life, especially through satellite positioning, because we rely on satellite imaging for current disaster management plans, so imagine how much better we can get at relief management, risk management, preventing earthquakes, tsunamis and stuff if we go to space and enhance satellite technology. So through this and ultimately interacting with microbial life that could play a key part in, any sort of medicines or renewable substances here on Earth, I think are not possibilities that should be taken lightly. And it should, encourage and inspire some optimism in us as a human race that, wow, okay, we no longer rely on governments to do this for us. We're relying on private entities to, like I said, especially through satellite positioning and interacting with microbial life, enhance our standard of living here on planet Earth. So I personally am very optimistic. And for people who are still skeptical, because it's not run by the government, like you said, this is a Cold War of sorts, a space race fought by private corporations. People who are skeptical of that, ask yourself this: whose full-time job is it to take care of you? Jeff Bezos's or your elected representatives, right? Who makes a sworn oath that they have your back and they have your best interest at heart? The guy who runs Amazon, or you're elected in the Indian context, MP or MLA, right? And I feel like that's something people need to understand before we just go and point fingers that Jeff Bezos and Richard Branson and Elon Musk don't really have a sworn duty to kind of make our lives better, but our elected officials do, right? Around the world, in India, United States, wherever else. So that's what I would, urge people to look at it through that lens, because I do believe we will be beneficiaries as a human race of, more and more space travel.
Please remember to subscribe to us and switch on the notifications for this channel. For our other social media links, more content, and to support our work, please visit citti.net. Dhanyavad. Namaskar.